Chosen one, this message didn't find you by accident. It's divine timing. You've been feeling like something is shifting. And you're right. Heaven is stirring. The wait is over. God led you here to confirm what your spirit has been sensing all along. This isn't just another inspirational word. This is your personal confirmation. You've cried in silence, lacked in secret, and endured seasons of not enough that few ever saw. But now, the Most High is stepping in, not just to provide what you missed, but to overwhelm you with what you once lacked. Let's walk through this divine revelation together. 7 chapters, 7 confirmations, 1 undeniable truth. You're about to be filled in every place you were, once empty. Before we go any deeper, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, because this isn't just a message. It's a prophetic confirmation. It's not just content. It's a divine delivery sent straight from heaven for the chosen ones who've endured seasons of silent lack and secret struggle. If your spirit feels this shift, if your soul is resonating right now, drop 77 in the comments. That number isn't random. It's a divine signal, a sacred code between you and the Most High that says, I'm aligned, I'm awake, and I'm ready to receive what's already mine. Let's be clear, not everyone is meant to finish this message. Only those with spiritual ears will hear it. Only those with kingdom vision will recognize what's being revealed. If you stay until the end, you won't just be inspired, you'll be activated. You'll gain clarity on why you lacked, how heaven is restoring, and what's about to overflow into your life. And this is the kind of message you don't hear once. This is a living truth, encoded with revelation. Each time you listen, you'll catch something new. Another key, a deeper understanding, a hidden confirmation that your soul's been waiting for. So get still, get open, because God is about to overwhelm you with what you once lacked. And this message is your first taste of the overflow. Let's dive in now. Chapter 1. The lack was never a denial. It was a divine design. Chosen one, this message is finding you right on time. Because even though you've smiled through it, deep down, you've carried questions. You've wondered why, for so long, it felt like heaven was silent. Why your prayers seemed unanswered. Why the things that came easily to others felt like a never-ending battle for you. But here's the truth. What looked like lack was never neglect. It was a divine classroom, a sacred shaping ground, a holy holding place where God was preparing the kind of foundation that only few can carry. You see, when God sets apart a chosen one, He doesn't rush the process. Others were being promoted, but you were being planted. Others were building names, but God was building your roots. And you weren't missing out. You were being marked. Lack taught you to rely on what cannot be shaken. When there was no applause, you learned to find peace in presence. When the opportunities were withheld, you found identity beyond performance. When people overlooked you, you discovered a deeper relationship with the one who never did. God wasn't being cruel. He was being intentional. He was emptying your hands, not to leave you bare, but to prepare you to hold what's coming. He didn't allow delay to punish you, but to protect you from walking into something your character couldn't yet carry. You didn't need immediate abundance. You needed eternal alignment. Because, chosen one, wealth without wisdom ruins. Elevation without identity collapses. But because you stayed when it didn't make sense. Because you worshipped when you had nothing but tears. Because you remained kind when life was cold. You have been found ready in the eyes of heaven. Your obedience in the lack positioned you for overflow without arrogance. Those lonely nights built your inner sanctuary. Those seasons of hunger gave you heavenly hunger. And while others were busy being seen, you were being spiritually sculpted into someone who will not just survive success, but steward it. And now, something is shifting. Heaven is moving. The same God who stood beside you in your silent seasons is about to publicly reward what was privately developed. You're not just about to receive more. You're about to receive purpose-wrapped abundance, wealth that carries assignment, provision that carries responsibility, favor that is forged by fire. God saw the version of you that praised with an empty bank account, that served with nothing in your pockets, that encouraged others while secretly breaking down. That version of you did not go unnoticed. That version of you touched heaven. And now, the windows of heaven are opening over your life. No, the lack wasn't a curse. It was a code. It trained your tongue to speak faith. It trained your hands to build in silence. It trained your heart to trust when nothing made sense. You are not stepping into abundance as a surprise. You are stepping into it as a fulfillment. Every dry season had a reason. Every silent year had a purpose. The God who allowed the wilderness is the same God who has prepared the promised land. Chosen one, this is the season where what once broke you will be the very reason you're blessed. Not just blessed for your sake, but so you can be the evidence of what happens when someone trusts God through every season. You're about to become the proof that lack was never a denial. It was a divine design. So stand tall, not in ego, but in expectancy, because you've been faithful in the famine. Chapter 2. You remained faithful in famine. Now you'll be trusted with abundance. Chosen one, this part of your journey wasn't about what you had. It was about how you handled having nothing. It was never about the stage. It was about the secret place, the moments no one else saw, the sacrifices no one acknowledged, the tears you wiped in silence, the prayers you whispered when your voice was too weak to cry out loud. The world celebrates the visible victory, but heaven rewards the hidden obedience. You remained faithful during your famine. When others gave up, you pressed in. When it would have been easier to curse God and walk away, you clung tighter. You gave when it hurt. You served when you needed serving. You loved even when you were not loved back. You refused to let the famine change your heart. And that, chosen one, is why God can now trust you with overflow. This next season isn't a reward for performance. It's a release tied to your posture. God saw your heart. He saw you walk past opportunities that didn't align with your values. He saw how you didn't manipulate to move forward. He saw how you prayed over people who misunderstood you, how you blessed those who cursed you, how you kept going when your strength was depleted. That kind of consistency doesn't go unnoticed in heaven. God is not just blessing you because it's time. He's blessing you because you're ready. Ready not just to receive, but to manage, protect, and multiply what He places in your hands. He knows that the one who tithed with little will steward much with integrity. He knows that the one who praised with tears will praise even more with triumph. He knows that the one who stayed kind when they had every reason to be cold will use abundance to build, not boast. You didn't just survive the famine. You became refined in it. You learned how to depend on God, not on people. How to be led by purpose, not pressure. How to choose character over convenience. And now, heaven is opening the windows, not to make it up to you, but to equip you, to pour out divine resources, spiritual and material, not just for your comfort, but for your calling. Because this next season isn't just about what you'll receive, It's about what you'll release. Your hands will heal. Your words will uplift. Your resources will restore others who are still walking through the famine you once knew too well. The abundance that's coming is bigger than a bank account. It's going to overflow into relationships, platforms, opportunities, influence, and insight. The kind of abundance that the world can't give and the enemy can't steal. Because God is not just giving you more. He's giving you evidence. That obedience still pays off. That humility still matters. That faith in the famine is never wasted. So get ready. You're stepping into a season where the seeds sown in sorrow are about to bloom in supernatural strength, where your obedience in obscurity is about to be honored openly, not for vanity, but for victory. You remained faithful in famine. Now watch how heaven floods you with holy abundance, the kind that restores, rebuilds, and reminds the world who sent you. This is not just a blessing. This is trust from the throne. Chapter 3. The areas you once lacked will become your strongest testimonies. Chosen one, it's not by accident that your deepest struggles came from specific areas of lack. Those places that brought you to your knees. Those silent battles you fought without support. Those nights you cried out for what others seemed to receive so easily. You didn't understand it at the time, but God was allowing you to feel the void so He could one day fill it with glory. The areas you once lacked were never places of punishment. They were the very grounds where heaven planted the seeds of your future power. You lacked support, and now God is raising you up to be the support for others who are silently breaking like you once were. You lacked love, and now He's surrounding you with covenant connections, people who don't just like your presence, but who value your spirit. You lacked resources, and now you'll walk into a season of divine provision so rich that your testimony will sound like fiction. You'll build what you once prayed for, not just for you, but for generations. You lacked clarity, and now the wisdom flowing from your mouth will unlock vision for others. Your voice, once silenced by confusion, will now bring direction, correction, and liberation. God doesn't just restore what was missing, He multiplies it. He doesn't just give back what you lost, He gives it back with purpose. That heartbreak you endured, it softened your heart and strengthened your discernment. That loneliness you endured, it deepened your relationship with God. That rejection, it redirected you into alignment. That poverty, it birthed stewardship, gratitude, and humility that wealth can't teach. Now look, you're not just healed, you're equipped. You're not just restored, you're redefined. You're not just surviving, you've become a testimony in motion. You are now walking in the places that once broke you. And not just walking, leading, blessing, and elevating others who are still trapped in those shadows. Your scars are now sacred stories. Your old wounds now speak wisdom. Your former lack is now overflow. God is making you the very thing you used to beg for. You cried for a helper. Now you're the helper. You longed for safety. Now you provide safe spaces. You yearned for understanding. Now you carry compassion in every word. You begged for answers. Now you are a voice of clarity to those who are lost. You are becoming the living proof that God takes the broken and turns them into bridges, that He takes the rejected and turns them into rulers, that He takes the voiceless and turns them into vessels. And here's the divine irony. What once humiliated you is now what qualifies you. What once made you question your worth is now the very thing God is using to display His glory. What once felt like a curse is now a calling. You are becoming the testimony that preaches without a mic. Your existence is a sermon. Your walk is a witness. Your joy is warfare. Your overflow is evidence. So walk boldly, chosen one, not in arrogance, but in divine awareness. You carry treasure in the very places you once carried pain. And God is about to use every empty space you once cried over as the stage for His supernatural abundance. You don't have to explain how it happened. Your life will say it loud and clear. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Chapter 4. This overflow will be personal, but its purpose will be global. Chosen one, this next season of your life will be unlike anything you've experienced before. Not because of how much you'll gain, but because of how much you'll give. Not just because of what you'll receive, but because of what God will release through you. Yes, this overflow will feel personal, deeply personal. It will reach the very places where you once cried in silence. It will touch wounds that people never knew you carried. It will answer prayers that only heaven heard, and it will redeem moments that once felt wasted. But this overflow was never designed to end with you. God is blessing you in such a profound way because He knows He can trust you with it. He knows you won't hoard the harvest. He knows you won't turn the abundance into arrogance. He knows your heart is aligned, not just for success, but for service. You've been faithful over little. You've been obedient in obscurity. You've given without applause. You've built without budget. You've loved without limits. And now, God is about to give you more. Not just because you deserve it, but because you'll do right with it. This overflow is going to touch every corner of your life. Healing, finances, relationships, opportunities. But it's also going to stretch far beyond you. Nations will feel the ripple of your obedience. Communities will be restored because you said yes. The hungry will eat, the lost will find hope, the overlooked will be seen, all because you decided to carry your abundance with purpose. This wealth is coming to you with an assignment attached. It will build shelters, fund scholarships, heal families, start businesses, launch ministries, rescue the forgotten, rebuild what's been broken. And it will do so not just because you're blessed, but because you're available. You were chosen for this. You were prepared in private so you could lead in public. You were broken in silence so you could heal others in strength. This overflow is sacred, and you will treat it as holy ground. The world measures wealth by what you keep, but heaven measures it by what you pour. You won't flaunt it, you'll plant it. You won't boast about it, you'll build with it. You won't waste it, you'll water dry places with it. God is about to raise you up as a distribution center for kingdom wealth, a vessel of resources, wisdom, healing, and breakthrough. What's coming to you will be far greater than money. It will be vision, authority, access, alignment, and most importantly, impact. So don't shrink when it comes. Don't apologize for it. Don't delay stepping into it, because this overflow was assigned to your name before you were even born. It's not just about what you'll have. It's about who you'll help. It's about what you'll shift. It's about what you'll restore. And when it's all said and done, this overflow will not just change your life, it will change the world through your life. Let them see the glory of God through your stewardship. Let them feel heaven's love through your generosity. Let them witness what it looks like when a chosen one rises, not to take, but to transform. This overflow is the answer to prayers others haven't even prayed yet. And you, yes you, were chosen to carry it. Get ready. Chapter 5. The enemy attacked your lack because he knew what was coming. Chosen one, Let's be clear. What you went through wasn't just life. It was war. That season of lack wasn't random. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't just bad luck. It was a targeted assault on your destiny. The enemy saw what was written over your life and thought if he could just keep you in survival mode long enough, you'd never realize the fullness of who you are or what you carry. He attacked your resources, hoping to deplete your resolve. He hit your relationships, hoping to drain your hope. He touched your finances, your peace, your confidence, because he knew that if you ever made it to the other side of lack, you would become dangerous. You see, it was never about the money. It was never just about the job, the opportunity, or the open door. It was about your identity. The enemy wasn't trying to stop your bank account. He was trying to stop your belief. If he could keep you doubting God's timing, doubting your own worth, doubting the vision placed inside of you, then he could delay your impact. But chosen one, you didn't fold. You didn't curse God and walk away. You didn't give in to the lies that said you were forgotten. You didn't let the temporary "not enough" make you walk away from the eternal promise of more than enough. And now, you're stepping into the reversal. The enemy is about to regret every seed of discouragement he tried to plant in your heart. He's about to choke on every lie he spoke over your life. Because what's coming to you now, it's not just restoration, it's elevation. It's not just a comeback, it's a divine compensation for what was stolen, delayed, or sabotaged. You're about to witness supernatural turnaround, from dry places to flowing rivers, from praying for scraps to managing overflow, from being the borrower to becoming the lender, from being dismissed to being divinely distinguished. And the enemy can't do anything about it, because this blessing isn't man-made, it's God-ordained. It was written in heaven before the attack even began. And now, what once felt like defeat is becoming your fuel. You're not rising with bitterness, you're rising with boldness. You're not carrying fear, you're carrying fire. And you're not walking into blessing timidly. You're stepping in with authority because you survived the season that was designed to take you out. This isn't just about overflow, it's about vindication. God is going to bless you in a way that speaks louder than the pain. He's going to elevate you in a way that answers every question you ever asked through tears. He's going to surround you with favor that confirms every promise he whispered when no one else was listening. So don't apologize for this rise. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't downplay what God is doing in your life just because some people remember the version of you that lacked. You're not there anymore. You passed the test. You stayed the course. And now, heaven is about to reward you publicly for what you endured privately. This is the season where the enemy watches everything he tried to delay unfold anyway. You're rising, not just out of lack, but into legacy. Not just with provision, but with power. Chapter 6. You're about to receive more than you prayed for. Chosen one, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. God never forgot a single prayer you whispered, even the ones you prayed through tears, barely able to speak. But what you didn't realize is that while you were praying for relief, God was preparing release. While you were asking for just enough to get by, heaven was aligning everything to give you more than enough to overflow. You prayed for a door to open, but God is constructing an entire building. You prayed for daily bread, but God is preparing a table in the presence of those who doubted you. You asked him to help you survive, and now he's about to show you what it means to thrive. You were thinking small because of the pressure you were under. Your prayers were shaped by the limitations of your past and the pain of your present. But God was never limited by your circumstances. He heard what you meant even more than what you said, and He began crafting an answer that would not only meet your need, but exceed your imagination. That's why it felt like things were delayed, not because God said no, but because He was saying, "Not like that, I have better in mind." He had to move some people out of the way who would have mishandled your miracle. He had to close doors you cried over because they were beneath your calling. He had to let certain seasons break you, not to harm you, but to make room for what He was truly sending. And now, you're approaching that moment. The moment where heaven says, "Now." The moment where everything you thought was being denied comes flooding in like a river of favor. You won't have to strive for it. You won't have to chase it, beg for it, or brand yourself to earn it. What's coming will recognize you because it's been divinely assigned to your name since the beginning. This next blessing is going to silence every fear you once had. It's going to confirm every word God ever spoke over your life. It's going to overwhelm you with joy, peace, provision, and clarity. You're about to walk into a season where God answers not just the request, but the roots beneath it. He's not just giving you a platform, He's giving you a voice. He's not just giving you a partner, He's giving you covenant. He's not just giving you money, He's giving you mission. This is what the wait was for. This is why you couldn't settle. This is why the doors you thought were perfect had to close. Because God didn't want to give you a piece. He wanted to give you the full promise. So prepare your heart, not just for answered prayer, but for surpassed prayer. Get ready to receive blessings that exceed your qualifications, connections, and expectations. The kind of blessings that make you drop to your knees in awe, whispering, "This had to be God," because it will be. This next season will be marked by divine abundance, not because you're lucky, but because you were faithful. Not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. Chapter 7. You're not just being blessed, you're being made whole chosen. 1. This isn't just a moment of blessing, it's a moment of becoming. God isn't just giving you something, He's restoring everything. You're not just stepping into a new season, but a new self, healed, whole, steady. He's not only answering prayers, He's healing the places that broke in silence. This season brings not just external blessings, but internal renewal, peace in your mind, confidence in your identity, and strength in your spirit. Because what good is overflow if your heart is still leaking? What good is favor if your soul is still fractured? God says, "I don't just want to bless you, I want to make you whole." He's healing rejection, grief, and fear. You'll know the drought wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine timing. You'll no longer strive for validation. You'll rest in who God made you to be. This next chapter isn't about proving, it's about being. And the healing won't stay private, it will be visible. People will see the glow, the peace, the strength, and they'll know only God could have done it. Your answer will be simple. God made me whole. You'll stop shrinking, stop settling, stop doubting your belonging, because wholeness brings clarity, confidence, and quiet power. This is why the attacks were so fierce. The enemy wasn't just fighting your blessing, but your becoming. He wanted you stuck in old versions of yourself, but he lost. Now, you're walking in truth. You're prospering and healed. You're shining and safe in God. The love coming won't harm you. The doors opening won't crush you. The favor falling won't change you. It will reveal you. And the best part? You won't lose yourself in the success, because your foundation is faith, not fame, purpose, not performance. So let go of every weight. Forgive who you need to forgive, especially yourself. Release what didn't work. Mourn it if needed, but don't carry it forward. What's coming is sacred, and so are you. You're not just being elevated, you're being established. Not just celebrated, completed. Not just seen, sealed. This isn't just the end of lack. It's the beginning of life. True, healed, whole life. You survived the drought. Now you're about to thrive in destiny. Everything that was missing is returning in divine form and multiplied measure.